I'm doing two things that are wrong. No hands, and I'm in neutral. Alright, well, I'm kind of bored right now, so I'm gonna tinker around with my truck. I've got this little problem here. It's time for a new lock cylinder. The little door on this thing doesn't work anymore, so it doesn't seal up, so it's getting a little crusty. So I'll end up getting a new one here. So someone's mentioned in the past that they think my idle's a little too high, and you'd be right, because I got my not too dirty in here. I went off-roading a little while ago. I've got my fuel turned up a bit, and I got a fuel pin and governor spring in it, and I'm not exactly able to completely adjust the idle to where I want it to be, because this wants to go back, you know, or come up this way, but the cable needs to come this way a little bit more. So I'm gonna see how this is all attached. It looks like they had all thread or something on it, and just, or no, 2 long bolts. It looks like there's 2 10mm bolts. If I take one of those nuts out, loosen the other one up, if I can move that where I want it to be, and then I can just take one of those nuts, tighten it down and jam it, and then jam the other side, and then it won't move anywhere. I might just do something like that, because I want to turn my fuel up a little bit more to get the idle up. And then I'm going to turn the star wheel on a little bit here in just a sec. And actually I'm going to take the fuel pin out and see where that fuel stop is writing, to see if it needs to go down any further. And then once I do that, then I'm going to set my idle, and then it should give us a little bit more power. And I just wanted to mention a couple of things for fuel economy. So on the highway, with all the stuff I've done in the injection pump, the fuel economy is not very good, because see, the last time I went on the highway with it, I only did 60. That's about as fast as I can go. And I had the old, I just had the fuel pin in, and that was it. And we got about 35 miles to the gallon. But because I got all that on there, and I can go a little bit faster, I can get this thing up to almost 3,000 RPMs on the highway, and I'm doing that at like 65, almost 70 miles an hour, and that's when I start getting down into the mid 20s, and you're like, ugh. So that's where we're gonna need the overdrive. So I'm gonna end up dealing with that later in the year. So I'm probably gonna move this guy forward a little bit more, so I can work on it. Oh yeah, I took this filter off and washed them in the sink pretty thoroughly with some soap and whatnot, and this filter was plugged with soot from when I didn't have an exhaust system. And so I've been getting better around town fuel economy, and I've been also getting better performance. So I know it was getting choked. Now this filter doesn't flow very well. I think I might get a K&N for it, or I'll get a air filter kit for a Dodge or something. I don't know what I'm gonna do. But anyways, I'm gonna tinker around with my fuel pump here, my injection pump. A couple things I'm gonna end up doing later after taxes. We're gonna go to Cummins and get a new fuel pump, and we're gonna get a new main line. I'm gonna make that a little bit bigger for the feed line, and I'm gonna get a new filter too. So that's something I'm gonna end up doing for the little girl. Anyways, I'm gonna tinker around with this. Okay, so this is exactly what I thought was going on. The fuel pin is not reaching its full depth. So what that means is the star wheel needs to go down a little bit further. The good news is it's not wearing a giant groove in there, so the material this is made out of is halfway decent. So what I'm going to do is adjust the star wheel maybe 2 more turns, I think. And that should be in there all the way. I wish I had some grease with me. I'd put some stuff in there that would be safe for this, but you know, whatever. We'll bring this guy right to that mark. Holding it like this. That looks like it's going down all the way. It looks like it's touching, but I'm gonna turn it just one more here. Keep it straight all the way down. I really want to get it just dead center. Okay, it looks like we got that thing maxed out now. Oh yeah, when you get the fuel pin, you get that new plastic collar. So you want to make sure you put that in there. That's maxed out as far as it will go. Yeah, she's touching as close as we can get it. I'm gonna call that good. Okay, as you can tell, I got the idle up. Now I'm gonna adjust the low speed. That sounds a little better. She's a little more shakier, but it sounds like a Cummins. Yeah, a little shaky in here, a little vibrating. Oh no! Okay, I like the sound of that idle. I hope that tire on my car's not going flat again. The vibrations aren't too bad in here. It's kind of like the V8 when it ran like shit. This is how many miles I've gone on half a tank doing mostly highway. 124. I've been filling it all. I just go until it clicks. So I've done 124 so far. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get it. I think this is a 10 mil they got on these nuts here. I'm going to undo it, pull this bracket off. I'm going to take a nut out and then just kind of move it where I need it. In fact, let's see. I think these are going to be it. No, they're going to be a 13. Okay, so yeah. Alright, that's cool. That'll bring this forward a little bit more. And basically we'll just get it right till it clicks in and is at a natural resting position, and we'll go for a cruise. Okay, so I took out 2 nuts and a washer. The bolts are kind of stripped out, so they're not exactly tight, but they're so jammed up they're not going nowhere. So, and of course it's raining, so beautiful. Yeah, it's a lot quieter. I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, I can engage the clutch real smooth now. That's good. It's better on the whole truck. Throttle's still responsive, so that's good. Got the fuel turned up a tiny bit. About a turn more than it was earlier. And engage it right. That was a 3rd to 4th shift. Now it's like a Massey Ferguson. I like the sound of the lower RPM. I was about ready to walk out into the street, and then there's a cop right in front. It's like, some bitch. Oh yeah, we're rolling some coal, man. That was good. A little bit less boost at cruise, that's good. You can have it where it makes just a little bit more power without having to use the throttle as much. I think that will give you better fuel economy, because it may not necessarily work out that way, but we'll find out in our MPG test. That was good. Never been in this part of the neighborhood before. Not a good spot to do donuts. Oh, that's why it felt weird. My armrest was good. Friggin' popped my head gasket. So I got a fairly new Honda Civic, and all the plastic stuff's coming off of it. I'm doing two things that are wrong. No hands, and I'm in neutral. And then someone's gonna call the police or be like, yeah, this guy's driving with no hands. He's got his truck in neutral, so he has no way to power through anything if he needed to. It's fucking light, man. It's like, come on. I don't like this boost gauge because it makes all kinds of flappy, rattly noises, and it drives me nuts. Come on. I was peeling out actually there. Alright, I don't want to waste too much fuel. It's got good power though. When I get my new turbo and get the exhaust like just finished, that's when I'm going to have it on a dyno so I can figure out how much power I'm making. Her tire was flat. I've actually completely forgot I had no sway bars in this. I didn't even notice. This guy's got a big ass boat, big ass camper. The stuff's so big that his Ford Super Duty looks like a Ranger. A little bit of a flare there. I didn't have the RPMs quite matched up right. I usually do, but I was kind of powering through that turn. Okay, this is the challenge here. Will this thing make it over the curb with it being wet, having shitty tires, only LSD? No problem. Except if I'm on grass, then it's just, you know. I'm happy as long as the truck's happy.